Hello everybody, how's it going today? Glowplasma 231 here, back in day with another manga haul here on the channel, but this time we have a special Japanese manga haul. Yes, I bought 34 volumes of manga from Japan, and now I have got them in my house, in my own very possession, and I get to sit down and, or really not sit down, but stand up. I record these videos standing up for the main reason of, it'd be weird if I was just like holding them from the camera that way. It's just more natural for me to stand up and like desk height. It sort of is what it is there, but I've got 34 volumes of Japanese manga to show off today, and honestly, I just want to go ahead and get into it, just showing off all of the good Japanese manga I got and the context in which I got them in. So I ordered this Japanese manga haul at the probably middle point of June. It was probably like June, like probably 15th or something like that, and currently it is the 26th. This order got here incredibly fast. Like, it took 9 days total to get here, which was absolutely insane. From sitting down, ordering all of the manga. I ordered all of the manga off a website called buy.jp. It's pretty much just like a Japanese auction site, but there's also like just like marketplaces and all there. You can buy manga. I buy off a person who pretty much lists a bunch of manga for very cheap. It's like a resale store, so they don't have everything that's brand new out in the world. So like, if you're looking for a volume of manga, like I'll show off the first one here, I bought Ichi to Witch Volume Number 1, or Madame no Ichi as it's called in Japan. And I honestly debated on this because I plan to pick it up in English whenever Viz Media does a full release of it, because, like, of course you're going to do a full release of it. There's no way they are not going to. But I'm like, this series is really popular now. I'm really enjoying it. I want to buy this volume, right? So this volume cost me, actually, I have the invoice. Let me go grab it real quick. Alright, I have the invoice right here. Now I need to try to be able to read katakana and all that to find Madame no Ichi Volume 1. And I think I found it here. Oh, and it doesn't give you how much yen I paid for it. Never mind then, but I have to go search somewhere else for it. But this was like probably a $4 book plus shipping to get it here. And altogether, for everything you saw in this video, I spent about $120 on. Me and a few other friends bought a bunch of stuff together, so like the shipping was less because like I bought some stuff and everybody else bought some stuff. But really, this volume, they had just gotten it on, and like Volume 2, 3, and Volume 4 is almost out in Japan. They didn't have a listing for Volume 2 at all. So that's pretty much how I buy all these manga. And that means that some of these volumes you're going to see are yellowed in some sort of sense, right? It's like, they get all these volumes and they sell them on cheap to people elsewhere in the world, right? This is Ichi to Witch Volume Number 1. This is a very popular Shonen Jump manga right now, and honestly, I've been really enjoying it, so I figured let's go ahead and pick it up. Honestly, a very nice inside cover after the slip cover, which I think is pretty cool. But yeah, and like, being that this volume came out at the beginning of the year, it's very nice. All the pages are crystal clear and white, so it's a pretty cool pickup with Ichi to Witch Volume Number 1 right there. And another Volume 1 I got was Kagurabachi Volume 1. Of course, I love this series. I do an entire series reviewing the manga as it comes out weekly here on this YouTube channel, and I'm like, I may as well get Kagurabachi Volume 1, but let me say, what is this? I don't know. You can do much better things with your inside cover and just, like, reuse the art and, like, oh, yes, Kagurabachi on the side. Like, come on, Takeru Hokusoto. I know you're better than that. Like, it looks cool and all, but, like, yeah, I mean, it's all grayscale, which is neat, but another really interesting thing about this volume cover is how dark and deep this red is. I actually have Volume 1 sitting right here beside of me, and I don't know how well it's really going to be coming up over my camera, but this is like such a dark, deeper red. The black is more black on it, and I do like the English volume cover better because it does give a bit more light to the scenario, but so it's a pretty cool thing. Here's Kagurabachi Volume 1 as well. Any other Volume 1s that I picked up here in this haul? I do not think there are. There is one, but we are going to be getting to that much later. But I guess with that, we're just going to go over to the other shonen series that I bought. One of which is Time Paradox Ghostwriter Volumes Number 1 and 2. Now, I should also preface this by saying that I have a decent Japanese manga collection already. I have previously bought probably about 30 or so volumes already, and every time I've been looking for these few volumes on Time Paradox Ghostwriter. This was a series that ran in Shonen Jump in, I think, like 2020, like August of 2020, and it got canceled incredibly fast. This is a manga all about plagiarizing another manga through like a fridge. It's melted to a microwave by like electricity, and it prints out a future issue of Jump, and this guy right here steals the future manga from this girl right here. And it's a series that was canceled incredibly quick, but it's honestly just been one of those Shonen Jump manga that was really in sort of like the talks whenever I was just getting into the hobby itself. So really cool thing. I mean, this is an incredibly small volume too. I mean, if we open it up to the chapter page, like there's almost nothing. Oh, let me not show pages get like demonetized, but like there's almost nothing to this volume. Like 143 pages where like the final side story is. But a little bit of a cool thing right here. So this is Time Paradox Ghostwriter. But this is just a manga I've wanted to own the entire time, and really happy to finally have it here in my hands, because this is just one hell of a series. And we'll just go ahead and go and show, like, this is what the front cover for Volume 1 looks like, and this is what the front cover for Volume 2 looks like. Yeah, but honestly, not too much else to say about this one besides this is just one hell of a trip of a series, pretty much. And if you can find it on, like, the Shonen Jump app or whatever, definitely give it a read. It's short. You can finish it in an hour. And I actually have a video on the channel here. It was, like, one of the videos where me and my best friend Jaden sat down and we talked about manga series, and one of the series we talked about was Time Paradox Ghostwriter. So also have a video of it up on this YouTube channel you guys can go check out. Granted, it's a few years old, but I still think it's a fun time, right? This is Time Paradox Ghostwriter. Another series that I talked about on the channel was Tenmaku Cinema, and here I have volumes 1, 2, and 3. And hey, it's pretty cool. They sent me the little obi thing that's on the bottom of volume 1 here. So it's just saying like, hey, Tenmaku Cinema, recommended by somebody, or hey, it's by the authors of Food Wars. Would you believe that, right? It's a little bit of a cool thing we have here, but I'll just quickly slide that off here for a moment. But this was another Shonen Jump manga that I really enjoyed. It's not going to get a English release, and that's how I normally treat these series. Like this, never going to get an English release, so if I want to have it on my shelf in some way, I may as well just pick it up in Japanese, right? And Tenmaku Cinema is very much the same way. It was written by the Food Wars duo, and this is a manga all about making movies that I almost instantly fell in love with, even to the point where I did chapter reviews of it here on this YouTube channel. So pretty cool just to go ahead and have all 3 of the Japanese volumes in my hands. And it was also cool is this final volume, while only having like 5 chapters of the actual manga in it, it has a special bonus chapter that's not really been released in English unless you buy the issue or the volume off of Viz's website, but also has the Yugen's All Ghouls Homeroom, I think is what that spin-off, or what that one shot was called. So it's got that included in there. But this is just a really fun series that I enjoyed for a good little while there, and really happy to have it in Japanese, just so like I can say like, hey, I supported this series because I loved it so much. And let's just take a look at the inside covers. Oh, that's actually so clean. That's actually my first time seeing that. And a little bit of a gag thing on the back, but oh, just the empty theater, that's pretty clean. What is it? Is it gonna be like some of the main characters sitting there? Oh yeah, look at that. It's the old movie making guy and a young Tenmaku, and then who is on the last one? Probably Hiraki, and yeah, a young Karai and a young Hajime. So that's pretty cool right there. But yeah, cool little volumes here. Happy to finally have them in my collection. So yeah, it's Tenmaku Cinema volumes 1, 2, and 3. Like I said, like these 2 are volumes number 1 and 2 are low weathered, or volumes 1 and 3 are low weathered, and volume 2 looks very nice, right? Going on to other Jump manga, I also bought another copy of the Border Briefing Files World Trigger Data Book. This means that it's the 3rd copy I own now, and I've really ordered one of these every time me and my friends have done a order from Japan, and I don't know, I just think it's a really cool thing to have, like, multiple of these books. I don't know why. Like, I showed my friend earlier today whenever we got packed, and he's like, you're just mental for buying them like this, and I'm like, I may be, but if I enjoy it, does it really matter? But this is actually the best conditioned one that I've gotten so far. Granted, these other 2 have had a little bit of use, but they are a little bit more yellowed, all things considered, and the edges and spines are all beat up. This is just a nice little book here. Of course, it's the World Trigger Data Book that will never get released in English, so I'm not upset about owning it in the slightest, right? Another Jump book or series we got is a series called Phantasma. This ran in Jump Squared. When it ran in Jump Squared, I have absolutely no idea, but all I do know is it ran for 3 volumes, and I actually don't know the plot of this manga at all, besides for the fact that it was written by Yuji Kaku, who is the same person who wrote Hell's Paradise, Shugoku Raku, and Ayashimon. And they are one of my 2 favorite mangas. Like, I have 2 mangas that are tied for my favorite in the business, and that is Kino Shinohara, the author of Oscar Lost in Space, Witch Watch, and oh, it's not Sket Dance. What is it? Oh boy. I can't remember what it was called right now, but the manga they wrote before Oscar Lost in Space and Jump. It's going to kill me now that I can't remember the name of it, right? But this was the first series that Yuji Kaku wrote, and that means that now I own all of Hell's Paradise Shugoku Raku in Japanese, all of Ayashimon in Japanese, and as far as I'm aware, I own almost all of the manga volumes that Yuji Kaku has put out in Japan, which is a pretty cool thing. Like I said, I don't know anything about this series, but I just think it's simply a cool thing to have, right? Like, this series doesn't have an English translation online or anything like that, but, like, you can definitely tell Yuji Kaku drew that, right? Let's look at the front art of the series. Like I said, I don't know anything about this series, so can't really tell you much of what that means right there, but yeah. We'll just show off volume number 3, but mainly I bought this just because it's a cool thing, my favorite manga, so I may as well own all of their works, even if I can't necessarily read it right now. But if we want to talk about a series that I want to try to read in Japanese at some point, well, lucky for you, I bought the rest of said such series, and that is Diamond in the Rough, Aragane no Ko, volumes 3 through 9. Yes, I splurged a little bit on this series. Previously, I had bought volumes 1 and 2 in Japanese, as you can sort of see them right here, if I can fit them in frame, barely. And I simply bought this because it was one of the first Jump Plus manga I read, and I just thought it was a really fun story, and I don't know if it's going to get translated into English, and I don't necessarily know if I want it to be translated, or if it does, I want to get translated in English, don't, like, get me wrong, in, like, physical volume formats, but if it does, I don't necessarily know if I'm going to buy it, and I'm like, let me just buy all of it from Japan, and let me say, these are some very nice quality volumes. Volumes 8, 9 here are absolutely massive books, along with 7 being a bit larger too. Of course, this manga had a little bit of a weird release schedule. The author of it, who, what is it named? Nao Sasaki, had a little bit of some issues as time went on. I'm going to also be showing off volume covers during this time. But they had a lot of health issues, so this series went on hiatus a good amount, which really does suck. And honestly, I actually never finished this manga. I think I got to, like, I think I got, like, before it had 10 chapters left and just never went back and finished it because Manga Plus did their big update where you had to then go and pay for all of your chapters after you read them. And I couldn't go back and finish, see the chapters I read before the series ended, and now I'm not paying, like, a few dollars a month when I already have the Shonen Jump app to go and read it pretty much. But a lot of just really nice volumes, and one of my goals eventually is to be able to read Japanese enough to sit down and actually try to parse out what is in these volumes right here. I know it's a bit of a long-term goal, but I think it's one that over time I should be able to go through and get. And yeah, it's just really cool to have all of Aragane no Ko on my shelf now, and it's only the second complete, or more volumes than, like, 3 that I have in, well, I'm sorry if I could speak there. It's one of the few series that I actually have entirely in English that is not like a 3-volume series as well, right? So just pretty cool to have this here, and you not really just go through and show all of it, but, like, yeah, they've got some really nice inner covers there, and if you guys are really interested in them, just let me know and I can make another video, like, showing off all the inner covers of this guy. But it's really cool to just have the entire rest of the series now, and really, this didn't cost me much. Like, I think for every volume you're seeing here, I paid, like, $3 after shipping for it, like, after it's all averaged out. Like, of course, these Phantasma volumes were like pennies on the dollar. Like, these things weren't expensive in the slightest. But, like, the final volume of Aragane no Ko was a bit more expensive there. But pretty cool to have those guys, right? In the title of more Jump Plus manga, let's talk about Yume Kochike, Dreaming of Falling for You, volumes 1, 2, 3, and 4. This was another Jump Plus manga that this came out in like 2023 or something like that, and I read it on the app, and I thought it was just like this really funny harem series. It's like all of these people who have really bad lives in the current day, and because of that, they get this manga that allows them to relive their youthful moments in their dreams, pretty much. And it's like, oh yeah, there's a harem, and like this was the main girl here, and I think this was her main design in the like the real world. Like I said, I read this series once, and I just was like, it's going to be really cheap for me to get it, so like, let's just go ahead and get it, because like, absolutely, why not? And yeah, that's how I ended up with it in my hands, right? It's one of those things where, did I need this in the slightest? No. But did I really need any of this? I mean, I really needed Time Paradox Ghostwriter. I mean, trust me when I say I would not be the man I am today without reading this series, right? But it's just one of those really fun things where I was like, why not just go ahead and buy it? Like, what's the worst that could happen? So I'm going to just, like, show off the front cover. Like, oh, yeah, look, I'm pretty sure that's the cover of the manga that they all, like, put under their bed and that stuff. And that's actually posing the question, is that, like, oh, yeah, look, that's volume 2 of that same illustration. That's actually pretty funny, all things considered. Yeah, look at that. And then I'll just open up volume number 4 here. Whoa, look at that. That's actually a bit more color there, right? But it's just one of those series that I thought would be pretty funny if I owned in English. So I do. Not really much more thought behind Yumiko Chike, Dreaming of Flying Few. Besides, this spine looks absolutely terrible. I'm sorry. Like, Phantasma, okay, you can get away with that, right? But, like, this, nah, I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of that right there. Like, Argoni no Ko, clean as hell. But this, not really, right? The next manga is another Jump Plus manga, and that is, Summertime Rendering, volume number 4. This is just my favorite cover of almost in any manga. I just absolutely love and adore this cover. And this is actually the cover that came on the box set in the Barnes & Noble English release. And I actually have had this sitting up on my shelf like this, sort of like bookmarked, like there'll be books on like either side of it like this, and then it's like, oh, just have it in the milk. I just love this cover art, and it looks a whole lot cooler than that. Then I'm like, you know what, let me just go and like buy that volume in Japanese. And to be honest with you, it's the same thing with the Kagurabachi volume cover, to where this one is just like so much more dark, and like it's still fine, I like it, but this just looks so much better. It's also just bigger in general, but a little bit of a cool volume to have. I really enjoy Summertime Rendering, and this is one of those like second examples behind Kagurabachi where the material for this book is just in one of these volumes right here, but it's just like, I just like the volume cover. Is there like a crime with me enjoying it, right? But let's look at the inner cover right there, and oh, look at that. It's I actually don't know what that is in relation to Summertime Rendering. I know there's like a lot of like a file stuff there, so yeah, pretty cool there. But not really too much to say about Summertime Rendering Volume 4 besides, I honestly sort of regret buying this one because it's like, on one hand, it's cool to own and I do like it, but just I like my big version of the volume cover a whole lot more, right? Next up, I guess we'll just continue with all of the Jump stuff, I guess, being that that's like most of what I buy in general if I can go and pick out everything. Next thing I have is a bunch of One Piece stuff, and that is a bunch of stuff surrounding the One Piece Film Red movie. This right here is a novelization of the One Piece Film Red story. As you see, oh wow, it's a novel, and it just goes through the entire movie as far as I'm aware. And then look, it's got one of these obies on it as well, which is pretty neat. But yeah, One Piece Film Red, the novel format, right? This right here is One Piece Film Red, the comic format. This is literally just a volume of the movie panels stitched up into a manga form. It looks absolutely weird, but there are 2 volumes of this, volume 1 right here and volume 2 right there. And sure enough, I own both of them now. One Piece Film Red is one of my favorite pieces of content ever because it gave us Uda, the best character to exist in manga and anime, in my opinion, right? So I just thought it'd be cool to have these 2, and yeah, it's pretty neat there, like how Luffy and Shanks are just looking at each other, right? It's pretty neat. And then I have the issue of One Piece magazine. This is random, but this was really, really cheap. And I don't know if there are any extras that came with this or anything, but yeah, it is simply just Luffy wearing Uda's coat on the front of it. And inside it, there's a massive poster of One Piece Film Red. I may tear out this like One Piece 25th anniversary stuff and just a bunch of cool, like, hey, One Piece Film Red information in the book, right? So just a really cool thing to have, all things considered, and like, I'm not complaining, like, oh, let's just look at that. It's a lot of like 3D renders, like Uda's diary, and I don't know. I just thought this was like a fun little thing to have, and yeah, it was cheap. So like, it's cool. Like, I don't even know what to say. It's just like, yeah, some One Piece stuff, all about One Piece Film Red, because I think it is my favorite part of One Piece, and yeah, nothing much else to the rest of this, but pretty cool One Piece related stuff right there. Next up is a Frieren light novel. This is, I don't even know what this technical thing his name is called, but it's just a Frieren light novel. I like Frieren, and I'm like, well, let me buy a piece of content, and I'm like, oh, let me buy like a volume special edition. Not for $20 plus import fees, I'm not, so I'm like, oh, this was like $3 plus import fees. Can I read it? No, but it's just a little bit of a cool thing to have, and oh, look, like Frieren there, and oh gosh, what is her name? Aura de Guillotine there, and there's front covers, like a grayscaled version, but a little bit of a cool thing there, like, not much to say about it, but just a cool little Frieren light novel, so, yep, pretty cool there. Same thing, I have a Nisekoi light novel. I own almost everything exclusive to Japanese Nisekoi related, because for some reason, I like this series, right? Got one of those little obies down here again, and this is a light novel based off the Nisekoi live action movie. Of course, you see the poster right there, and of course, you're like recreating it here on the front. Like, oh, look at this. I actually, first time I looked at this is actually really nice. Like, Raku, all of the key art from the front of the volume, and it's like, oh, hey, look at that. We have Onodera, just all of the important characters all around it. I actually do really like that. Just a cool little piece of Nisekoi content, and with this, I almost own everything exclusive Japanese related for Nisekoi. It's like I own all the exclusive special editions. I own at least all of, like, the manga and book related stuff, right? So just some cool little stuff there, and hey, Nisekoi light novel. What we have next is another light novel titled Love is Dark. The reason I own this is because somehow in the last order me and my friends did, I ended up with volume 2 of the series, and I'm like, I've got to pick up volume 1. It's a light novel. I can't read it. I don't even know what the story of this thing is. It's like, oh, look at lady. This guy's holding a gun and pointing up to his head while he's laying his head in her lap. Like, I don't even know what's all going on here. But it's really interesting. I actually got some art cards for this series as well. They were just, like, shoved. Like, whenever I got it, these two were literally, like, just shoved in the front here. Like, I'm like, oh, that's weird. Like, they're a poster coming out. But no, like, just postcard things, I think, come on, like, the front of the volume in Japan, being that they line up almost perfectly. But just these, like, two little cool art card things that I particularly don't know what to do with, but, I mean, yeah, why not? It's just cool to have there. So, yeah, Love is Dark, volume number 1. Like I said, I really don't know a whole lot about it, besides I own volume 2 at some point, so now let me just, like, buy the other one, right? Then we have Tying Knot of an Amagami Sister, volume number 4. I really wanted volume number 12's cover because it's, like, my favorite cover in that series. I think it's a really cool art piece. But they didn't have it. And I'm like, well, I saw a volume from Japan, so I bought volume number 4. And, oh, look at this. I can show off what the English looks like right beside it. And honestly, I like Japanese more in this scenario. I know we've been, like, back and forth. Oh, is the Japanese cooler? Is the English cooler? Here, I just simply like the lighter colors you see here on Yuna's face. And just around the volume, like, the pink is lighter pink than the pink here on the edges. And just, like, the entire cover is a bit lighter than this one is here. Not saying, like, this one is bad or anything, but I think it's a nice little cool volume there. If we open up the inside, oh, that's actually really nice. I really like that. I almost want to display that just sitting off on the shelf like that. But yeah, just a little cool item. I already own the volume, so, like, I'm never going to read this per se, but I think it's just a cool thing to have. And as a guy who puts books on a shelf, it's another book to put on the said shelf, you know? So that's Amagami Sister volume number 4 there. We have a book, I don't even know what it's called. Normally me and my friends like to get gag gifts for each other, and I ended up with this somehow. I don't even know what this is called, but I now own said book. If you guys know what this is, please let me know. Let me, like, show you the entire OB, like, oh, look at this. Oh, it's just a light novel. I guess volume 2 also, which is like, what in the world? But yeah, we have this here, so if anybody knows what this is, it's like 748 yen in Japan, so pretty interesting there. But yeah, I don't know what this is. All I know is that I now own it. So yeah, just let me know in the comments if you know at all what this book is. But as an art light novel, it's going on my shelf now, I guess. And with that, I think we just have 2 more books to talk about. Number 1 being Shonen no Abyss, or Boys Abyss, volume number 1. I read this series while I was in college, and I was in a very mentally bad spot at that time, and I read this entire 18-volume manga in 3 days. Yes, you heard me right. I don't know what was going through my brain, but I was just having a bad time. I'm like, oh, I've heard this manga called Boys Abyss exists. I know nothing about it, and arguably, that is a very terrible decision on my part. This is a series about 2 teenagers from a small town trying to commit suicide with each other, and every other character in this town being bad and annoying and terrible. And Viz Media does the release of this series in English, and I'm like, do I want to pick up the English volumes? I'm like, no. I enjoyed the series, and it was definitely a time of my life that I'm never going to forget. And, like, it was a series that really emotionally impacted me in a lot of ways. But I don't need the entire series in English. I'm like, let me just buy one volume in Japan to say I have it. And honestly, this is a very nice, like, matte cover almost. I really like whenever manga do this. Especially, like, everything I've shown off today has been, like, really glossy. Like, gloss. All of these are gloss. Like, Argoni no Ko almost has, like a rubbery texture to it. I don't know how much else to just really explain it. This is, like, a nice canvas cover here. And the volume cover, it just emotionally assaults me, right? It's just like, it's just a street. That's actually amazing right there. But yeah, this is Boys Abyss, volume number 1. Like, this series even has had my, like, I used to have a phone wallpaper that, like, cycled between, like, 50 different images on my iPhone. And ever since I read this series, I have had just one image of both Reiji and Nagi as my background, because, like, this series affected me so deeply, it's like, man, I just need to, like, own some portion of it. And here is Boys Abyss volume number 1. That's actually almost a better... I always want to set it on the shelf like this for, like, the what the hell, instead of, like, keeping this on it, but I don't know. This is Boys Abyss volume number 1 right here, and being that there are some content warnings for this first volume for sure, let me make sure not to show any of it on camera. But yeah, it's Boys Abyss volume number 1. Hey guys, post-production Glowplasma 231 here, and it's about 3 weeks after recording of that video, and I'm already back up at college, and just to show you how much Boys Abyss, the series, affected me, here's my college manga collection, by the way. This is all the books I brought up for reasons that I wanted to, like, I'm rereading all Mashal, so I brought it all up here, right? But this is one of the few Japanese volumes I brought up with me, was this Boys Abyss volume, just because I have such the memories of reading this series, and it's just one of those things where, like, I figured I should bring it up to college with me, and, like, here's also the Ichi the Witch and the Kagurabachi volume. Sorry about the terrible lighting. My bed, or my desk, is actually under my bed. It's where my shelf is as well, so it's one of those things to where, like, hey, poor lighting, oops, what am I going to do? But just one of those things where I just want to show you, hey, this series, don't read it, but it affected me, you know? And the final thing I got, as long as I think I've gotten through everything, or almost everything, was Shangri-La Frontier, the Expansion Pass, volume number 4. This is Shangri-La Frontier's version of a special edition volume. Is every volume has this expansion pass, being it's a manga all about video games. This is what it does. I actually have this volume to compare its regular version in English to, so this is what it looks like in English, and this is just like the Japanese. It's of course like this darker background, and like, oh man, the same game pile on the back of the cover and all this various stuff, and it's the same volume, but just like a special version of it, pretty much. There's the cover. Oh, that emoji. Oh, I like that. This is back, so I'm like, I almost want to buy the rest of the Japanese volumes, just see what this cover looks like, because this is actually so clean right there. But the Expansion Pass Volume 4, and also the art thing, as you may realize, there's this little book that comes with it, and this is like a very nice hardbound light novel in here of some sort, right? If I'm not mistaken, here in Volume 4 of the English version, at the very end, there's always like this small little story, and like it doesn't go on for like more than like 3 or 4 pages. And honestly, I don't know if that's in the back of this book. Let me check real quick. No, it looks like it is. Like, it's just this small... Okay, it is the back book. I was about to say, maybe that is what's contained here in the expansion pass, but I guess it's not. I don't know how this reads. I don't know how to read it, but I know this goes like Setsuna or whatever. It's part of the Shangri-La Frontier story with Waizimon of the Tomb Guard, but a little bit of a cool thing. I'm like, let me get a expansion pass book, and let me grab the volume cover of my favorite character, which is Katsu. I mean, I even own a Katsu statue that sits right in front of my Shangri-La Frontier manga, so I was like, hey, let me just pick this up, and honestly, it's just a cool little trinket to have there and be like, oh man, I own this book twice, as I can say that now a few times with... let me try. I'm like failing to do a joke. I own this book twice. I sort of own this book twice. I own this book twice, and the like 4 other books I already own twice that are on my shelf over there, right? But yeah, this is all the Japanese manga I bought once again. So let's just go ahead and go through all the 34 volumes. Oh wait, no. I forgot to mention 2 things. Amagami's volume cover. This was the obi, it was a little paper obi that came on it, but it is dented to high L, so I'm probably going to just get rid of it, which, yeah, sort of is what it is. But I do like, hey, look, there's all the characters there. Hey, that's pretty neat, right? But honestly, a little bit disappointing where this is all bent to hell. But for what I paid for these guys, I really can't be complaining. But if it wasn't bent like that and it got bent during shipping, with how much I paid for shipping, I almost want to be upset, right? But yeah, I also bought Picross on the Nintendo DS. Picross is my favorite game franchise of almost all time. It's really the one puzzle game I accept with a burning passion. And hey, I bought the DS version of it, and there's like a few little data books in here, something about the Wii. This is really cool, Touch Generations title. And yeah, just like a Nintendo Wi-Fi connection, like some other like, oh, no, Club Nintendo. Oh, it's actually so cool. I didn't even open this up yet to really look at it. But yeah, it's just Picross on the DS. I'm actually going to throw this in my DS and try to play some Picross puzzles. But if you guys don't know what Picross is, it's pretty much like what you see right there. It's like a bunch of numbers. You got to like figure out columns and rows and everything. It's honestly my favorite puzzle game. I don't know if it's just because I'm bad at all of the other ones, but just a cool little thing to have there. So 35 items is what I got total, right? But going back through everything, Shangri-La Frontier, expansion pass stuff, Madame no Ichi the Witch, Shangri-La Frontier, Kagurabachi, Yume Kochiki, volumes 1 through 4, all of the Aragane no Ko books, all of the One Piece film Red stuff, the movie comics, the light novel, and the One Piece magazine issue, Amagami 4, Shonen no Abyss, the light novel, Nisekoi light novel, Freerun light novel, all the Phantasma books, Border Briefing File, Time Paradox Ghostwriter. Let me actually like move this up a little bit. Time Paradox Ghostwriter, whatever this is, I don't know. And then Tenmaku Cinema things, and I'm pretty sure that's everything I bought. And I know you're all wondering, hey Glowplasma, what is your favorite thing you got out of this manga haul? And if I'm going to be honest with you, I think my favorite thing is tied up in between two things in general, and that is the entire haul of Tenmaku Cinema, and also Ichi the Witch. I've just been really loving this series recently, so it's cool just to have the first volume in English, and also Tenmaku Cinema because this was a series that I really enjoyed so much, and I'm happy just to own it in English after so much time. But I've been going on for 30 minutes of over like 34 books of manga and Picross on the DS, which I brought in like a minute ago. But I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching this video, and hey, if you enjoyed it, my wallet's a little empty right now, so maybe you can like subscribe to help me keep like monetized or something like that. I don't really know, but either way, thanks for just checking out this quick little video. I say quick, it's been almost 31 minutes, but thank you guys so much for checking out this video. And I do regular manga hauls too, and I did an old Japanese manga haul like 2 years ago now, so I'll have all that stuff linked down in the description box down below. So if you did like this style of video of me rambling on about manga, and normally in shorter time limits and over more books, let me know, because I can definitely hook you up there. But just look at this, that's so cool. But actually, how could I be lying to myself like so? Where is Boys Abyss? Where is that volume cover of The Road? That's gonna emotionally assault me for a while. But yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. This is Glowplasma, signing out.